Alright, so we're watching yet another replay. I was just trying to get things set up. Damage effects, yes. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's like a gameplay cam. Alright. Here we go. Watching yet another game. It's said that all these are replays because I don't trust OBS to not lag me out, and I'm not good enough to play with lag, so at this point we've dropped Salty so much that we know where the chests are, so all that stuff is just memory. Drop. That's not really better. Right. Learned from the last time, so now the cursor is not in the middle of the screen. So right now our materials are really low. When I dropped, there were a decent amount of people here, so I'm just trying to stay away from the houses. But then this one looks unlooted through the window, so I move in. So this replay is a lot of close range fighting and a lot of building against people who build, so it's the kind of combat that I'm trying to get better at, so not only is it a nice replay to showcase, but it's also good to review it just from a learning perspective, because when you're in that moment and you're fighting somebody in their building, it's hard to really learn from that experience until you look back out of the moment when you're not like full of adrenaline, which I still am a little bit, but alright, the first kill was a little bit campy for my taste, but I just didn't want to walk outside of the door while he had that height advantage, because I can't build those high walls fast enough, and I didn't want to get shotgunned in the head. And really I didn't have a shotgun to retaliate with, so the beginning game is fairly slow, but then it speeds up as it goes. It's kind of like an exponential curve, so if the first part of the replay is not holding your interest, it gets better. So a lot of the fighting is centered around that structure. You'll see I turned the wrong way. Is literally the guy I just saw. I thought he didn't see me, so I didn't understand how he'd be shooting at me. Hunting rifle shots were not on point this game. That's fine, I'm out of practice. So I'm going to do here is I'm going to start to move up, and I'm going to see him on my right. So here, he's gonna make a very traditional play of running around my structure. I'm gonna follow, he gets confused, and then he's dead. Not really anything complicated. It was just a hard fight because I didn't have a shotgun. Otherwise, it would have been a little bit faster. So I'm hearing a guy behind me as I'm getting shot by a crossbow. That guy instantly dies. The crossbow actually looked the wrong way. I'm realizing now, because I thought he was from over where that rock is, but I guess he was that pink guy at Dusty with the crossbow. So anyways, I start to put pressure on this guy. You see my shots start good, like they're at the right level and everything, they're just not led correctly for the distance. Alright, so what happens here is I hear gunfighting on the other side of the house or in the house. So I decide to get aggressive. You'll notice my build materials are super low, which is why this building is kind of janky. But, so I'm hearing them fighting. And I figure, oh, this hole lets me cut through the top, and that metal door can't be on the top floor. It has to be on the bottom, so I figure it's the bottom left one. Yep, he's right in there. He closes the door, I open it, jump through. And he's dead. Second one's coming in, so I try and push him aggressively. See if I can find him. Just 1, 2, and there he goes, cleared out. But I thought I heard another one, so then I have to play around this. You'll notice I can't put walls where there's already roof, which is really annoying, so I'm just trying to stay moving. And I hear him equip something, which means that he must be in that room full of loot at the bottom. Yep, so I'm hearing him, and he's like reloading or whatever. So I'm just looking around the corner to make sure he's not pushing out. He's reloading, jump around, 1, 2. It's very, very easy once you have those auditory cues. So I'm just going to heal up, because I did take a little bit of damage, but really nothing ridiculous. And you notice the other thing I do is I keep a running tally of what's in this room, just in my head. Not like everything, not every gun, but just the fact that like there are med kits and there are minis and whatever, so that when I'm playing around this, I can continue to play around this. So looking at the minimap actually gives us a lot of information about how this whole game plays out. So you see the pink guy's on top. He's looking around. He sees me. You'll see his marker points towards me. He's not ready to engage. Starts shooting at me. I just freak out. I see him. So you notice the second he pulls back, that's when I pull forwards. I was trying out the long-range shotguns because I keep seeing Ninja do it, and I keep thinking, oh, I don't know the effective range of shotguns, so I might as well learn. I mean, 45 for like a very, very short peek is definitely effective, especially when the rifles have been hard to use lately. You just have to be smart about it and not peek. This fight is extremely hard because he's got that height advantage. Luckily, he plays it rather poorly. He could have had the pressure all this time. You'll see he tries to get it, but he's trying too hard to conserve his health when I'm building. Alright, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable in this element. I'm trying to build. He comes up over me, and he gives up his height advantage right there. You see, he gets me close, but then he gets wiped. I knew I saw a campfire. I couldn't figure out why I didn't have one. This is me trying to place a campfire. Because it had fallen to the ground. Well, then now that mystery's solved. So we're just grabbing minis. We're just healing up because we know that Salty is basically always the center of the circle. I'm remembering where the bandages are. And because it's always the center of the circle, pretty much, you end up with a lot of people just running through it as part of traffic. Because as the circle closes in, the outside becomes less populated unless it's still in the circle. The inside becomes more populated. So here we're just looking for more fights is really what's happening. You know, we're just stalling, getting some materials. But there's really not much to do. So what we're gonna do is we're a little bit low. I think we're at about 67 health. So we're gonna go back into this house and just never mind. There's a guy right here. You see, what you'll notice with a lot of people is they'll build, but they don't build smart. They just kind of build to build. Like that guy right there should have been building, and he could have easily had me because I was kind of panicked. But like he built some ramps to try and get some height advantage, but they weren't protected. He didn't punish me for shooting them, and I didn't even have to build. I just had to outplay his building. Because he thought, oh, like, ramps are like a wall, they protect me. But then he didn't also build walls to protect his ramps, or he didn't personally protect his ramps. So if we think through... How do I... There's some button. So we're at 9 eliminations right now. So you notice it takes 12 minutes to get 9 eliminations. And then it's 8 minutes for 6. Which might actually be the same ratio. Oh yeah, it is. So we're very consistent through that. But then you also notice there's 14 people left. So out of those 14 people, we gotta get 5 kills. So if you watched, I believe it was the last replay, whatever the rocket launcher one was, I employed the same strategy here to fight this next guy. So I see this wall of wood, and I figure that's a lot of building for somebody who's gonna move. And it turns out to be a porta fort. So I'm seeing that. So what I'm doing is I'm using the tree to protect me. I'm just like glitching through the tree a little bit. And then as soon as I come over, you'll see him. He hits me like once. I headshot him. I like this sliding through the tree. I thought I was gonna die, but it worked. Hit him with the shotguns, farming. And in this moment right here, I'm like, oh, I gotta heal. But if I heal right here, I'm probably gonna die. Like, I already know. So I start medding. And you'll see on the minimap that red arrow coming in. He's getting closer and closer and closer. And then I hear him above me, so I put the wall just to prevent him. And then immediately I'm like, let me just push out and take his ramp. He comes towards me. I believe that was an LMG. Yeah, it definitely was. So he was trying to use it, but he was moving around so much that his shots weren't hitting, so I just kind of popped him with the tech. So all in all, I have to say, I've been looking at the porta forts, and at this point I don't even pick them up, because I don't think there's enough slots to justify it. If it was like a trap, then it would make sense. This is me trying to trap the porta fort, because I figured the noobs will come to it, but as you can see, it doesn't really work out in my favor. Like, it doesn't do anything. So then we're just moving on. We're trying to stay aggressive, and we're moving to the outside edge of the circle. So I think this is something that's important. Is, you know, we play the center, play the center, play the center, but then when the numbers get really low, we're looking to put a lot of pressure on people. So I see that white guy jump. He's the green marker on the minimap if you're looking there. I see him jump. Wow, there was a lot of guys over there. So this is the rotation towards tilted that I always talk about. These 3 people. These are basically 3 people coming from tilted. So I'm trying to figure out, is he in that little house? And I see him running past it. So then I try and use the tree. This hunting rifle shot it hit would have made my life way easier, because this guy got really annoying. And I'm very fortunate that he didn't push me. You'll see there's another Dark Voyager in the back. So I go to shoot him, he blasts off. Then I see this Dark Voyager. And I'm trying to figure out how to get in circle safely. So I jump over, I see him, hit him a little bit, and he's dead. So I'm trying to prevent having to fight him later. So then I fly in, right? So he's building his base. I have to build a base, because I need healing, I believe. Or I just need protection. And then I'm hearing a grenade launcher in the back, but it's not directed towards me. Like, always shoot out trees if they're close to you, that way people can't use the same strat that I use. There we go. So I do have a hunting rifle, so I'm gonna try and take some shots towards people. I'm trying to find the grenade launcher guy. So he's firing a rocket at me. Alright, he's trying to put up that pressure. He hits me once. Just a slap on the wrist. I should have turned my ramp, but honestly, it's fine. He goes to peek, and I hit him in the head. And then I'm just trying to put pressure on. This was not a great move because I stayed exposed for so long, but it's fine. So then I see this other guy. Go to shoot him. That was a little bit high and led too much. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I go to pressure him. And I stop, look around, put some traps, you know, because I'm worried about him jump padding onto my base. Which was actually valid because there were a lot of jump pads in the end game. So the second he starts to pressure me with the grenades, I'm like, my base is going down because now there's rockets and grenades coming towards me. So I immediately just dip out, you know, put a little roof so I don't get grenaded, and just retreat into the safety of the circle. So that guy is now dead, the guy on the right, because you can see his loot at the top. On the left, that guy is just fortifying his base. And you'll see he's shooting somebody else. Pop him right in the head, and he's dead. Easy peasy. So then we're moving up. I'm seeing that legendary item, and I'm very interested in it. I see some weird, like, wood effects, so I figure there's somebody over there, but I don't quite see them yet. Right, so then I'm looking towards this. And I want to shoot him, but I'm a little bit worried. So you see he loots those rockets. And then I'm just like, alright, this is enough. Like, I gotta stay moving. So I see him on top, he finishes a ramp, and then he jumps down, and I'm pretty sure he's seen me. So I go to build up, and then build around, because I know he's gonna flank. Right here, I should have been more aggressive, I could have shot him. And then as soon as he starts breaking that, I'm like, oh, it's a fight. And that was honestly extremely close. That was probably the closest I got to dying, was right there. Just because it was just all shotgun luck. And luckily he was pretty bad at it, so. So here we're just passively healing. We edited our wall because we want that shotgun. We see a guy. So here we put a lot of pressure on him with the rifle. And then the second he moves back, we're just breaking his walls, right? We're moving up. Instead of going all the way over the top, which might be something that he expects, we're going to go around, and we see this little box. We know he's in it. So he's putting up those walls faster than I can shoot him, so I just dip into the box and kill him. Easy peasy. So there's one guy left at this point, and I know there's one guy left. So when you're in 1v1s, you have to treat it like they want. Yeah, you have to treat it a little bit aggressively, because otherwise they'll push you. So what I'm worried about here is that upper ramp, which I actually forget is mine. I'm worried about that. So I move in, right, and I'm thinking to take that upper ramp. Maybe it's an additional jump pad, and I see him moving up. I build. I start shooting him. Rifle. He's trying to shoot me from long range with the shotgun, and that's it. 15 kill dub. And thanks for watching.